But following his disastrous appearance in the TV presidential debate, Joe Biden has appeared on ABC News to defend himself. Here's what he had to say.
Have you had the specific cognitive tests, and have you had a neurologist, a specialist, do an examination?
No, no one said I had to. No one said, they said I'm good.
Would you be willing to undergo an independent medical evaluation that included neurological and cognitive tests and release the results to the American people?
Look, I have a cognitive test every single day. Every day I have that test. Everything I do.
Do you know what? He does have a cognitive test every day, and he fails that test every day. This confident performance was in stark contrast to his efforts facing Donald Trump the week before last. Take a listen.
Eligible for what I've been able to do with the the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Sorry, it breaks me up every time. However, since then, Mr. Biden's senior moments continue to come thick and fast, with the president telling an interviewer that he was proud to be a black woman. He kept that one quiet. And in a bold declaration that will send shivers down the spine of Democratic Party insiders, he declared that only the Lord Almighty can get him to stand down. Well, is this an almighty disaster for America? Let's get the views of the Queen of US showbiz, royal and political reporting, Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, with this latest interview, has Joe Biden done anything to reassure critics within his own party?
Well, I'd say very little. Democratic pollster Doug Shewan called on Biden to prove he's capable to take on former President Donald Trump by accepting Trump's challenge to debate again anytime, as soon as possible. He also insisted Biden take that cognitive test right away with independent doctors, something Biden, you heard right there, said he didn't have to do. He doesn't need it, which I think proves how stubborn and defiant this candidate really is.
Most definitely. Well, I wonder, Kinsey, whether the media have turned a blind eye to Joe Biden's health issues for a long time now. Take a listen to this excellent compilation, which has gone viral. We're just waiting for that tape to roll. Have we got the tape, folks? Are you concentrating?
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
He is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
For example, we got 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America.
This is a man who is sharp, who is on top of his game, who knows what's going on.
He's smart. He's on his game.
His mental acuity is great.
This is a very sharp president.
So, Kinsey, these are some of the biggest names in US journalism saying that Joe Biden is as sharp as a tack. Are they lying? Are they deluded? What's the story?
I mean, I think it is a fair criticism. This was always a blatant strategy by the White House, keep him away from anyone that might challenge him. It was his entire presidential campaign strategy in 2020. They called him Basement Joe. You saw Biden skip traditional year-end press conferences in favor of celebrity softball interviews. He has engaged in fewer press conferences and media interviews than any of the last 7 presidents, participating in just 36 press conferences throughout his term. How that was ever deemed acceptable is beyond my comprehension. Trump had a really nasty relationship with the media, but he has never shied away from a microphone.
Most definitely. Briefly, Kinsey, do you think that he will be competing against Donald Trump in November for the White House? Will the party get rid of him before then? What do you reckon?
I think briefly is tough. Newsweek is reporting that Joe Biden's chances of beating Donald Trump in November have slipped to an all-time low of just 9%. Republicans don't want to see him replaced. There are several scenarios. Biden could decide himself to step aside before he's nominated at the Democratic convention in Chicago in August. He could be challenged by others who try to win over the delegates he has accrued, or he could withdraw after the convention, leaving the the Democratic National Committee to elect someone to run against Trump. I don't see Biden voluntarily stepping aside. I think it will take something nefarious or catastrophic to move Jill Biden, Jill, out of the White House.
That's right, because that's the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden. Everyone thinks she's the key figure because she's the one who can sit her husband down and say, honey, it's over. But many are suggesting that she enjoys being First Lady far too much to pull him out of the race.
Yeah, I mean, Megyn Kelly recently said that Jill was power hungry and accused her of posing for that Vogue magazine cover, promoting herself, running this shadow campaign. And there are a lot of people that are accusing Jill Biden of assuming a leadership position that she was not elected to. And that doesn't sit well with a large percentage of American voters. Some commentators have even gone as far as to describe Jill's behavior towards Joe as elder abuse.
Crumbs. Briefly, could Michelle Obama step in as a possible replacement to Joe Biden?
So, in a hypothetical matchup between Michelle and former President Donald Trump, the First Lady outperformed Biden and led Trump 50% to 39% in a new Reuters poll, although I would like to remind everyone that she has insisted throughout the years that she has no intent to run for president.
Sir Keir Starmer, the new British Prime Minister, had his first meeting with the King, Kinsey. A big moment for both men, you could say, couldn't you? A new Prime Minister and a relatively new King.
Yes, and we do expect Starmer and his family to receive an invite to spend a few days with the royals at Balmoral. So I imagine there could be some very extensive bonding happening between the two of them coming up.